In case you missed it, Netflix just released their brand new drama miniseries called ADOLESCENCE, and it's essentially this biggest steaming pile of propaganda bullshit I have ever seen. I mean, it's embarrassing. I'm going to get into why exactly in just a moment, but first I'm going to let you know that there are going to be spoilers, so if you want to cry your eyes out about that later, go ahead. But the basic premise of the story is that you have this 13-year-old boy, Jamie, murders his classmate, Katie, because she bullies him on Instagram for being an incel, because he's mad because he's part of the toxically masculine Redpill manosphere bullshit type thing. I mean, they literally even mention Andrew Tate in the second episode of the show. It's cringe and it's embarrassing. I don't know about you guys, but I genuinely cannot manage to sit through another Marvel or Netflix film anymore because of the amount of propaganda bullshit is in there. I mean, it's LGBT, it's BLM, it's feminism, it's Israel, Palestine, Gaza bullshit, whatever. I mean, it just never ends. It just never ends. And then there's the topic of today's video, which is that masculinity is somehow toxic and dangerous. However, I'd like to argue, which is my main point of today, is that the lack of masculinity is dangerous and it's toxic. Why? Now, set the masculinity argument aside for just a moment. First, I'm going to tell you my problem with self-improvement and the red pill manosphere. Here goes. The thing is, there's too many influencers and fake gurus trying to jump on the bandwagon of people genuinely trying to become the best version of themselves, trying to scam people and sell them courses for thousands of dollars, when first of all, it's more than likely not worth that much, and you can find the information for free anywhere, like here on YouTube, and yada yada yada. I mean, it's just the most bullshit and like meta and cringe thing ever, where you have 12, 13 little boys also jumping on the bandwagon, becoming emo, and for some reason thinking that you're supposed to hate women and avoid them to be able to attract them. But besides that, there's literally nothing wrong with trying to become the best version of yourself. I mean, that's literally what this entire channel is about. I want to build a community of people that genuinely believe that they can and will become the best version of themselves. And when we bring the masculinity argument back onto the table, the issue doesn't lie within masculinity or masculine men. It lies within the lack of masculinity and feminine men. And the reason is because feminine behavior is what Jamie did in the show. I believe the show is even like based off of a real story, right? It's killing people out of anger, out of resentment, right? Committing murder, committing heinous, disgusting, violent crimes. Not to say that those are things that women do, but in feminine nature, you're emotionally driven. A feminine man is emotionally driven. So if he gets angry and lashes out, if he gets angry, he's going to lash out. He's going to hit. He's going to yell. He's going to kill, maybe. He's going to do horrible, disgusting things that who fucking knows what, because some people just do horrendous things. And no, this is not about how to become a masculine man. It's not one of those cringe videos, although that is a good goal for you to strive for as a guy or a boy. The thing that we're talking about is the lack of masculinity and the fact that masculinity itself is being attacked in the mainstream media and within society. Another point I want to bring up here that I feel is really important, I always struggled going through school, and I'm sure a lot of boys do too, because naturally we have more energy than girls do. This is going to probably seem kind of sexist, but I'm going to be honest with you. Girls tend to be okay with being submissive and sitting quietly, right? Like in a classroom, as you're supposed to, especially since we have female teachers. And then a lot of boys nowadays are being raised by single mothers, and there's no dad in the picture because for some reason men can't take responsibility for their actions anymore. Again, leading to so many young boys only having feminine role models and figures to look up to in their life, which just causes so many problems. You need, as a boy, it is the most important thing to have a man in the picture. I'd almost argue it's better to have no man in the picture than to have a negative-sided masculine man in the picture, like Andrew Tate. They mention in the show. It's just cringe the way the delivery they brought in the show. It's just weird. When you're trying to sit down and like relax and get away from life, you know, sometimes it feels weird and like wrong for them to be bringing up real world things like a mainstream celebrity. You're like, what the fuck? Like, I can't even watch the rest of the show. I made it into episode 2 and I'm already done. But I'm getting off track. Seriously, back into the main argument is the trouble in today's society is not in masculinity, it's the lack of masculinity. And I hope you can understand what I'm trying to convey to you, is because any man taught correctly will grow up and be able to control his emotions. It's not that you can't feel them. It's not about not feeling emotions. It's not that at all. It's about being able to feel them, understand them, process them, and properly act on them. Not just feel them and then you act on it. That's just that you can't do that. Now, I don't want to draw this video out too long and bore you guys with all the conspiracy bullshit on the propaganda, but I'm just gonna let you know that there is a very obvious agenda in attacking men, especially cisgendered straight white men. It's so obvious. I mean, if you can't see it by now, you're obviously blind. But seriously though, there's a very obvious agenda, and it's attacking masculine men. And if you can't see it, I want to show you. Go to bloomingpotential.com and get the Matrix Masterclass. There's so much you can find out. I'm not selling you a course. It's completely free. You won't lose anything except maybe a couple seconds. Look through it. I promise it's worth your time. If this is of anything of interest to you, I promise you will love it. Okay, seriously, it tells you everything. If you know the government is corrupt, you want to know how deep the rabbit hole goes, I'll show you. Get the Matrix Masterclass. Again, go to bloomingpotential.com. If you have any questions, contact me. I'll answer as soon as I can. God bless.